So since we're done with our debugging session, let's demonstrate how we could possibly change the appearance, the initial appearance of our radio buttons with one of them selected like this. So let's just change the setup, which is happening inside the window show. And here let's for instance try to use RDO line and make it current before we show the window. Okay, so we'll say I believe we need to set the value of it to true. So when the value is turned on like this, the button will be selected, and if at this stage any other of the buttons are selected and they belong to the same group, they will be deselected accordingly. So let's try this and run it. So you see that this time the window happens to already be making selection. However, one quick observation in addition to this is that this way of setting a value of a specific radio button to true does not generate a callback. A callback is truly generated when when the user takes the action to click, for instance, this widget. So this is when the callback happens. So this is a little bit of a concern, because I think we you know, if we want to be consistent with the rest of the application, perhaps we want to invoke a click handler if we'd like to invoke the click handler for this. So it should be trivial, right? We just manually call this click radio button with the specific button ID. Right, so just to be consistent, we could also do this: just click radio button, and the button ID for this RDO line is this one. Okay, so this will be possible to just manually call the handler. So this is how convenient it is to have the actual event handler directly inside the window, because inside this window everything is available, everything can be used. So we can instantly talk to each widget and also invoke all the functions present in this class, so that we build our application logic in this class, whereas right here, and whereas we derive everything from Fluid Window, which contains the graphical user interface design. So it's a very convenient and nice setup, very open for any kind of maintainability and extensibility. So with this latest change this time, right, because I'm forcing this to be called, I'm expecting that this time we do make selection of the specific item, this radio button, but also forcing the click to pass through our own logic in the implementation file of our class that handles this entire user interface. So this is the conclusion of this laboratory exercise. And of course, this is another self-learning lab, so there are no files to submit. However, it is important that we may be using this laboratory exercise as a platform for our next lab. So I'm going to click Build, Clean Solution, then normally Window, close all tabs to keep everything clean, and then File, Close Solution. So we're now done with the project, and now it should be ready to archiving, so we can delete these subfolders to deallocate any space allocated by the builds. And now this is a project that we can clone and continue with the next exercise.